Welcome in everybody to today's video. We are doing a pick a card with 4 groups for you to choose from. I haven't actually got a specific topic of the theme today, so we're just going to take a moment shortly and see if we actually get directed for something. But I actually was getting a few messages coming out that seems to be a bit of like a general or collective message. So if you're keen to stick around for that, just you can just keep going at this point. Otherwise you can use the timestamps to jump ahead to like whichever group you choose. So first thing, point of reference that I was getting was like there's like an old school song that's like boom boom shake shake the room, something like that. And then the other thing was I actually have what was it? There was also another song. That's okay. We'll just keep going and see if I get it come back through. I was like getting all my cards ready and getting them put in place. And as I picked up a couple of the decks, there was like a few things that was kind of coming out. So here are these ones. I just want to show you before I've just got them all sort of like next to me ready to go for when we do the reading if we need them. But there's literally like 8 of Wands, something real hard hitting or hectic coming in quickly kind of thing. It doesn't have to be bad. The 8 of Wands can actually be really good stuff too. But we've got the 8 of Wands here as well in a different deck. So it's like double 8 of Wands. But this one's like a bomb gonna blow up. And it's like you don't want to be around when that thing blows up because it's like it's just gonna hit the fan and go everywhere and potentially be a little bit hurty. And then the Devil. So I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I was kind of getting something about like something happening over the next 48 hours. So just like take it with a grain of salt, unless you know it's like kind of confirmation on something already happening or I don't know. I get like an energy of just making sure you've got like your ducks in a row. So like if there's any jobs that you need to get done, make sure that they get done. If there's, I don't know, I feel weird saying this because I know there's going to be like that random person that comes in here thinking that this message is for them and it's really not, but it's I don't know. And I feel, look, we're going to do it. We're going to do disclaimers, right? Because timelines and energy can change. It's like ever changing. So at this point in time, like the trajectory of whatever this is, it's like on point for something to kind of like play out. But also, I don't know, we don't want to, necessarily always have something come to a head, but it could be something that we actually, even if we are intuitive, are a little bit blocked out from seeing like the truth of whatever could be at play. I don't know. We'll leave it at that. We'll put the rest away and we'll go from there. Anyway, so I'm going to take a moment and see if I can get a theme for what this is going to be, because at this rate it's just going to be like the next 48 hours or something like that, and that way we don't even have to meditate on it. Let's see what we get. Yeah, I was just getting that like boom boom shake up the room song again. So it's something like some sort of shake up, like what sort of shake up is going to be happening in the next 48 hours. It might not be about the 48 hours, that might be just for some people, but like what shake up is about to happen or like what is in need of a shake up. So we'll see what we get from there. All right, so group 1. PS, like welcome if you're new and haven't been here before. I do read tarot intuitively as well, like a bit of a mix with like, your standard typical tarot style reading with the intuitive stuff and sometimes energy. So just take what resonates and just leave anything that doesn't fit, okay? Don't let it take from you. So group 1, we have the Lapis Lazuli. Group 2, we have the clear quartz. Group 3, we have the pyrite. And group 4, we have the, I think it's Prasiolite. I don't know, it's like green amethyst. Anyway, yeah, whatever you feel called to, drawn to. Like you're more than welcome to choose more than one group if you're having like a really hard time trying to decide. And we'll push these to the side and get started with group 1. Alrighty, welcome in group 1. If you chose the Lapis Lazuli, then this will be your group tarot reading for today. So the very first thing that I was getting, because we actually have the strength card here, that was like your main card. it was a message about like you don't have to do this, or like you don't have to do something. It's, I feel like it would be ever present at the forefront of your mind, whatever this thing is. Like you would definitely know what it is. Like there's, I don't need to say anything. It would just be like a confirmation of like, maybe you're really pushing yourself here, or you feel like you don't actually have a choice, but they are saying that you don't have to do this, whatever that is for your situation. Okay. There is some sort of like acknowledgement here of you having already had been incredibly strong in like actively displaying in a way that people cannot not acknowledge, like your strength, and what you have, how you've had to persevere in some sort of situation here as well. And there is something here that it's like, there's something here in the type of, or the way that you are strong, that I think people are like learning to finesse you a little bit in some way, okay? And so what that could look like or lean into is like, maybe there are certain types of strengths that you have, and people play on you either having those strengths because they know that it's like, maybe you're kind of proud of the strengths that you have. Maybe you're the only person that can do whatever the thing is, that you have a strength in that area. So there could be people kind of taking advantage of that. It's not as much of the energy that I was getting, but I needed to put it out there. I just feel like some of you could actually be quite a strong person of character, or you could have, I don't know if I'd say strong opinions necessarily. It's not really about that. It's more like, maybe you wouldn't back down from a fight. Maybe you're not afraid of confrontation. Maybe there's something here about dealing in the space of having a high level of respect. And so it's like you're commanding respect or something like that. Or like maybe you wouldn't shy away from confrontation with a person throwing disrespect around, kind of thing. It could be the case, might not be. Just see what happens, take what resonates. And it's like, if that's the case, there is another example coming, okay? So don't just click off now if that's like not really hitting for you. Where are we going? One thing at a time. So yeah, some people could be used to trying to guide you in some sort of direction where that sort of confrontational aspect could really work for them in some way, okay? Now, the other thing that I'm getting here is that, yeah, so I don't know, it's like I kind of actually now I'm starting to get more of a push. Some of these people could be trying to direct you, like, what is it? It's like the neck that controls the head, like the direction that the head is pointed in. So it's like they could be trying to control the direction in which this confrontational energy kind of comes about, like as in, so maybe let's say there's some sort of confrontational fight or argument, whatever, some sort of conflict here, and that plays out. This person, I feel like they would be close to you, and they close enough that you would actually listen to them. I actually feel like this could be like a really good friend, or someone that you take their word with, like you give their words a decent amount of weight, right? Like you actually trust this person is kind of how I feel, which is unfortunate. But don't beat yourself up over it. It's just, we'll get there. I kind of get that this person, they want to control. I don't know if it's because this person, it's like this person has a very clear view of something that's played out, whether that's because they are the person who's kind of done something behind the scenes, or they're complicit in some way, or they just have some type of clarity that for whatever reason you're not able to have at this point in time. Pride could be a factor here, but it may not be. Just take what resonates. So I think there's something here where it's like this person, I'm just getting like the words like mischievous and Machiavellian. So again, it's like this person is just wanting something to work for them in a specific way, and they're being very, I almost get like a cheeky energy where it's kind of like, we'll just see if we can do this. And it's almost part of the joy that they're getting out of this is like a pursuit of whether they're actually able to redirect some sort of reaction, or like put your attention or focus on somebody else or something like that. Okay. So it's a little bit like, I don't know, like smoke and mirrors type of stuff. The thing is, when I look at them, or maybe this is like when you look at this person, they actually might come across like they are taking care of you in some way. even to a point of you may have in the past, or generally you would think of this person as being a person who could actually tell you the hard truth or the uncomfortable truth, and you actually had a lot of trust in them, because in other times of your life where maybe you had a lot of yes people around you who were just agreeable, it wouldn't actually tell the truth because they didn't want to, like, you know, rub you up the wrong way or something like that. This person in the past may have kind of challenged different things, but the more that I get into this energy, I feel like even though it may have come off very noble and very like honorable or genuine intent, like well-intended, I still feel like part of it was working up to this like finessing. It's kind of, I get some sort of energy here around relaxing a muscle over time. Yeah, it's like they've been working towards this for a while. Okay, so it just might, like, so this is the thing, they may have done genuinely like good things, but part of it was like kind of getting you to this point where it was like the trust or the relaxation had kicked in, so you're not paying as much attention or something like that. So all right, so we've got very strong messages straight off the bat. I do feel very called here to like mention that roses or flowers in general, but particularly roses, could actually be of some type of like importance or something. We're also getting like eucalyptus leaves and olive branches. So olive branches generally like speak speak towards like the making up of a situation potentially. Rose can be quite protective, like high vibrational, very soft, like nurturing, kind of almost a little bit of like nourishing the heart chakra energy, but different things for different people. So just like maybe only one thing stands out and that's okay. And if none of them do, that's also okay. If the rest of this reading is resonating, you don't really have to, go too hard on that one detail. So what do we say? Like roses, olive branches, eucalyptus leaves is like really helping open up like the airways, but so it could be like that breath of fresh air, quite literally, but it also could be a thing too. I actually, it's really bizarre because it's not where I was going to go with it, but I know that sometimes people talk about like smudging with eucalyptus leaves, and that particularly being potentially like a closed practice for certain groups of people, that they inherit with their culture and whatnot. So just depending like who you are, where you come from, all of that, what your background history is like. What I would say, if that is not the case, is that there is something still very like uplifting about some type of like fresh or new energy, or an opening up to some sort of situation. So there also could have potentially been like a little bit of a closed offness, like as if that's a word. Anyway, bear with me, guys. But there's also something here that I want to touch on too, where it's like, you guys might be extremely well developed or very fit in a certain area of your life, or a certain skill, or a certain way that you've had to be. So whether that looks like a hypervigilance or being very agile, I don't know what it is, just a strength in nature. It could actually be like a survival thing as well, right? But what I'm kind of getting here, it's like, it's like that like lean, mean fighting machine. Not saying you're a fighting machine, although we did get that whole confrontational message at the start. So just, yeah. I feel like you guys, it's like, this is weird, right? Normally I wouldn't say something like this because I'd be like, oh, you don't know how people will take it. But I'm literally getting the words like from spirit, like not an inch of fat. So even if this doesn't apply to you physically, it could actually be something, like it definitely could be. For some of you, it's 100% a thing. It's like you literally are just like pure muscle mass or something crazy. But for others of you, it's not about like the physical body. It's something here where it's like you literally waste nothing. Like you could be super resourceful. You could also be something here where it's like, actually you could have like zero cares to give. There's also something else. I feel like you could be very efficient. Like, yeah, it's like nothing goes to waste, and it's like, what else is there? I don't know. It's just, I can't even, it's like efficiency, proficiency, being at like the top of your game. But there's also something, I am still getting it pulled towards that like survival kind of stuff as well. So it could be something here where it's like, whether this is a product from being in a state of survival that you have gotten whatever this way is. Some of you, it could be like more of a hardness or a sort of tough affect, if you will. But even if this, whatever this strength is or whatever this is I'm talking about, you'll know for your situation, it's even if it hasn't come from a state of survival, like maybe for some of you it has, but it's like you've been out of it for a long time, but like you still live as if it was like, you know, you're not wasting any days. I kind of get that this group, you're not taking anything for granted. I kind of get that you value your health, you value every day that you live, you value like every day that you can walk around freely and you have like mobility, and if it's or like good brain function, capacity, mental faculty, all that type of stuff. And if it's not that, it could also be something about like freedom. So like just the freedom that like, even if you don't go do the thing, just the very wild thought that, you know, maybe today I'll go do that random thing that I've never done and I don't even know if I can do, but I'm going to do it anyway. And it's like that freedom that's like you're commanding your ship, you're steering your ship. So there's also something here that this group, you could potentially be quite like an influential group as well. So even if a lot of what I've said at this point hasn't really still resonated for you yet, you could actually possess some type of like leadership trait or quality where you actually are quite strong in your presence. And I don't know, I kind of get, and this is actually something I have sort of noticed before too, not saying it is the case for every single one out there, because the strength card is like representative of the Leo card, like astrological zodiac sign. So Leos, I have witnessed quite a few actually, like when they recommend something, generally like the thing that they recommend is good. Like, and I'm a Virgo sun sign, so I'm picky AF. Like I can't really fault it too much. Like they're generally across the board pretty good. So if you got recommended something by a Leo and it was not good, I would say that there would be something here outside of the scope of like what they had experienced when they had kind of came to a conclusion and made a recommendation for. So they generally, I don't know if it's because we care about the same things or if it's because it's like good across the board or something like that. Okay, so it's like a kind of type of advocacy on quality. And so there could be something here where it's like people know that people listen to you, and because, or you have a level of like influence or something like that. And so people could be trying to kind of finesse you in a certain direction, or so that you could advocate for them or something. Because I kind of get here an essence of like, there's, I don't know, the more I talk, the more I'm getting coming through. So for some of you, I'm kind of getting this like analogy of like a person being like really selling you in a way that like you're way more than happy to go along with. But it's also, it could be, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like they could be quite firm or they could be quite assertive when they're kind of talking to you about things. Like they're very confident, like you just wouldn't question it. And they're like, yeah, come with me, I'm going to do a massage for you, it's going to be the best, it's going to do the things you need it to, it's going to help you with this and that, and nothing's going to be questioned or whatever. And then I kind of see, and this is lots of like massage analogies coming through as well. Okay, so whether that's something to do with you or this person, or just the actual example. Anyway, and it's like, yeah, come with me, I'm going to help massage you. And there's like something here where it's kind of like, I get that they're going to make out that it's like, I don't even feel like it's a make out thing. It's like, maybe there's part of this is like, you don't really realize what you're in for. Part of it's like kind of being a little bit caressed, but there's something here about this person. I don't know. This is a weird energy for me, guys, to kind of try to discern. So I'm going to refer to it as someone here, and you're going to have to like know for your situation, like who that somebody is, right? So someone could be like quite transparent, quite strong, quite clear in expectations, and sort of like making sure both people are on the same page, or like, yeah, that knowing what to expect. But then there's also this kind of, I'm getting something here about eliciting like a type of agreeance or a statement that's like buy-in or something like that. So this person actually could be very good at being persuasive, but still being quite matter of fact, or still being kind of logically based in how they communicate or something. So actually it's weird because to me it still feels like you're being finessed, but it's in like the cleanest way possible, which is really weird. I would say that this person's quite good at it, but there's like a level of being smart here. There's like a level of intelligence, because they're not just like throwing out wild claims that they know is going to make them look bad. This is like, this person could be playing the long game here, okay? So it's like they get you in a position where they're like, yeah, going to do this massage with them, and maybe they like spend a bit of time talking up to it, leading up to it, and then it was like agreed upon pretty quickly because it was like a no-brainer. Why wouldn't we do that? So you go to get the massage and it's like all business as usual, and it's like seemingly quite good. I want to say that this person would present in such a way that it's like a higher standard, a higher level of care or aftercare, or higher quality or something. Maybe it's a really good massage, or it does wonders. I don't know. Maybe this person is so experienced with it that they've done all the hard work and research and working out what's the best massage so that like people get the most out of the service they provide, as opposed to potentially anybody else doing this thing. Anyway, and then they like get you in a position that might be a little bit awkward or a little bit like vulnerable. And I don't know if it's like, I don't know if lions do it, but I know like ridgeback dogs, they get that like, what's it called? Like the reason that they're called a ridgeback is because the hair on their back, on their spine, like it all stands up when they get real angry or scared or whatever. And they get like, the hairs on their back stand up, and it's like fighting time. Anyway, and so I don't know if this person puts you in a really awkward position, if they capitalize on a type of vulnerability, if they accidentally hurt you or hit some sort of sore point, whether it's accidental or not, or whether it's a case that all of a sudden you're in this position where they're now in power or control, and it was done so subtly and swiftly that you didn't realize that you no longer had autonomy or sovereignty, or potentially you were put in a position where the strength that you have so relied on, and you, like, everyone knows that you have this strength about you, has now, in some sense of the word, become disabled because of the position that you've been put in, where this person is now capitalizing on this like vulnerability, or the fact that they have you in some kind of chokehold, or like there's something here where it's like some of you may be coming to the realization that you've been played, and it's like very checkmate, and like you're like, man, how did I not see that coming? But this person, I'm telling you, it was good. I'm telling you, it's not like anyone would have fallen for this. I don't think you need to beat yourself up about this. I'm starting to get goosebumps. I'm like, I don't think there's anything you really could have done here before, but I think it would just make you more wary. And the sad thing is, I feel like this group, you're probably potentially already a little bit wise to this type of stuff, or a little bit hyper vigilant or something. So for some of, I don't know, does this person, they may not literally be a masseuse. It's like, that was literally just an example, more of an analogy, like I was saying. What I wonder is this person, like, are they in some type of position where they're kind of like accredited, or they have some type of qualification? Are they a person known for doing whatever type of work? Like, maybe they are actually, maybe you're both leaders in some sense of the word, where it's like this person is leading in, for some of you, I've got to say, this person's not actually done anything, and a lot of it could be fears projected out onto a person who could actually be kind of intuitive and feminine, working in such a weird and wonderful, mysterious way that you just genuinely don't really understand what's happening. And so you may want to attack them because they seem to be coming off as like the source of pain, but really they're actually holding space really well, and they're doing everything that they're meant to. And it's just like, you think that they're doing something tricky or deceiving when they're not at all. And so, but what I would say is that if that is the case for some of you, that you've wound up in this group, and that is actually your case, you need to be able to logically, in your mind, kind of separate. We need to kind of get a little bit non-biased. We need to look at the facts and be objective, and kind of remove whatever like thoughts and feelings we might have towards any like occultist kind of energy working woo-woo sort of stuff, and take it out of the picture and look at like, well, how's this person present across like a range of domains? Like, are they kind and caring? Do the things that they say, are they genuinely a person who kind of rides on protecting their ego? Or are they a person who, when something good happens for me, are they happy for me? Do they You know, if I look good, do they actually compliment me? And I know not everybody's out there complimenting everyone, right? Just take what resonates. But are they a person who, you know, do they tell me the truth even if it's uncomfortable, but in a kind, loving, gentle way without weaponizing anything, right? And so I do feel for some of you may be in a bit of an awkward position where it's like, you know, maybe some of your history and butting up against this person, you could see certain qualities or traits that may overlap that you could confuse for something genuinely like negative. I think there's something here, like the color blue is coming really strongly through to me. Like we do have the Lapis Lazuli, but we have this lady's hair is blue. But I also have a few things on the wall that are blue that I can't stop but help and look up at constantly through this. So I don't know if the color blue has something to do here with this. If you know this person likes blue or wears blue, or maybe when you're around them, you feel calm or you feel confident or something like that, okay? But just, yeah, take what resonates there. Anyway, so, you know, and they, yeah, for them, you could just be worried about being put in a position where you feel kind of vulnerable, but that person would never do anything to harm you. And sometimes they might have to kind of be a little bit firm with you. You know, if you go get a massage, there are sometimes on occasion they've got to get into certain deep sort of places to do real work, and it is a little bit painful, and you just have to kind of bear and grin it for that little bit. But like there is an essence of putting your whole trust in this person and yeah, trusting that they're going to look after you and your well-being, okay? So I'll see if there's a way that we can kind of split or clarify this later, but for right now we're just going through still the scenarios and everything. All right, so now that's said, if this person is out of, like, you know, if it's not that scenario that we just talked about where they're kind of genuinely a kind, gentle, caring, loving, nurturing person who actually really wants to help you, I think with that person, once it was all said and done and over with, I don't think you would feel violated. And I think you would know, you would feel a difference between whatever it was that they did or did not help you with, that you actually feel better. Even if at the time it was a little bit painful or something or uncomfortable, you'd be like, I was nervous about it, but now I don't have that pain anymore. Or I've kind of come to see like a higher truth or a higher understanding of the situation some way. Bear with me one moment. Okay, so yeah, and I feel like that person, you would recognize them already as a person who has like a lot of knowledge or wisdom or is very loving, comes from an essence or a place of love, yeah, and being genuinely helpful, okay? Not being a martyr, not being a victim, not overextending themselves. And they may fall prey to that in the odd circumstance in life. I feel like that can happen to a lot of people, but in general, they probably have pretty good boundaries across the board as well, okay? That's it. Moving on. Back to this other person who could be like trying to kind of finesse you. I just feel like there is an essence of trusting your instincts here. So for some of you, this could be like a exercise of discernment and like really trusting your gut. And it's like, it's funny because like the line is like that yellow golden color, and those gut instincts can generally come through in like that solar plexus or the sacral. So it's kind of, I would say maybe more sacral, but everyone has a different feeling. I've definitely had it in the solar plexus before for sure, like really powerful gut feeling. So I think this group, there's something intrinsic. You might have like a primal type of gut feeling or a gut wrenching or a gut instinct that really works for you. So if you know your gut instinct has never failed you, do not give up on it now. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some of you guys could have been put in a really tricky position. There is something here though too about being quite bold. And there's like not compromising on your boldness or your authentic self, or communicating in such a way that may come off strong to others, or is making sure that you are heard. Because there's something here where it's like, if you do compromise on this, I do feel like the entirety of something about your situation won't actually be heard. And this is a time where you may be in a position that you are a bit vulnerable and you do need to advocate or find someone that can advocate for you in some way. Yeah. I just want to go back to how I was talking about how there's like not an inch of fat. So some of you, if you are more in that like survival state, this could be a case that you've got like no wriggle room, you don't have creature comforts or extra, you don't like, it could be things as far as like money and resources that we kind of talked about. Like you already are a resourceful person, but you also just may not actually have a lot, and you're so used to getting like absolutely as much as you can out of every single thing. Like I don't know, like you know, people say like eat, sleep, rinse, repeat, but instead of like eat, sleep, it's kind of like whatever the things you do are that like help you kind of like run a very tight ship, or you're very efficient, or you make sure that you're like buying the cheap stuff that you know is kind of the best value for money, or you get the most that you can out of it, or something like that. I feel like this group, there's like nothing's going to waste, okay? You're not out there like necessarily buying bougie things, and if you do buy something that's a little bit more bougie, it's probably something that you genuinely need, or it's probably towards your health or like your longevity in some way. It's like, it's very practical, very resourceful. It's things that you need, even if you have a hard time convincing yourself that you need it because you're used to living so skimpily. There are times where that's okay too, and they want you to know that. That's part of, I feel like I want to cry a little bit. Like I'm starting to get that kind of empathing energy of like, that might be a bit of a painful point for you, or a bit of a sore spot. And I feel like Spirit is kind of coming through in some sense to say kudos that you've done so well, and that you've been incredibly responsible during that time with like whatever you did have, you know, the cards that you were given, how you were dealt, whatever the situation was that you were navigating, and that you've absolutely made the most out of it. And they're just so proud of you in the way that you handled that. So for some of you, I feel like that's more of like an ancestral message coming through as opposed to guides, but I realize some of you could have ancestors that are actually acting as a current guide for you as well. So for some of you, I feel like this is a passed over parent, if you have actually got a parent in spirit as well, or it could be like a grandmother. It's like a, whether it's maternal, paternal is not really a thing here. It's just that it is that that older family is coming through as well. So if you have, you know, parents that are not in spirit, or grandparents not in spirit, and they're around and they've seen you kind of navigate something like that, I feel like they're actually extremely proud of you. And I think that they kind of admire the strength that you had to display during that time, even if they're a little bit sad for you, or sad that they couldn't help you better than they could. So for some of you, I feel like this could be your sadness that I'm feeling, but for others of you, I feel like it's actually those parental, grandparent sort of figures, that, or that sort of ancestral passed over stuff, people that are actually like, they're sad for you for the hard time that they witness you go through, some type of hardship, but they're just so proud of you. Like, whew, heavy, not heavy, like just very deep. It's like, yeah, very potent energy, very strong. Okay, so we're going to take a moment. I'm probably going to get some Palo Santo and kind of ground that out a little bit. And then, I don't know, Sage or Santo? Santo, okay. Let's see, I feel like I haven't just stopped talking this whole time. I mean, it's a good thing, right? Because you're getting the messages flowing. We're not having to muck around to get them. Yeah. I'll just take a moment. You know, deep breaths, guys, if any of you are kind of feeling that. But otherwise, we'll just do a little bit of a smudge and keep going. I don't know, for some of you, working with like some type of whatever you deem to be like a sacred wood could actually be really helpful or lovely too. I don't know, I really like Palo Santo, and I don't know, I feel like a lot of this stuff, it's like food for the soul. And it's like, even if I walk up to a shelf that has like the sage or Palo Santo on it, and I get like that little scent just with a gentle breeze come through, even if it's not lit, and it like makes me feel peaceful. And it's so weird. I think when I first like, you know, maybe even ever picked up sage, I'm not sure if I just got like a terrible one. Like maybe it just was laced with heaps of pesticides, or was like not great quality or something. Maybe it wasn't as fragrant or as clean or something, but like, I don't know. I never used to like it. And it's like it's like almost at a point where it's like got like a good relationship with my nervous system. So just take that for what you will. We're also going to do the copal, or copal. I think it's copal. I'm going to say copal. I don't want to have to sit there and like yo-yo back and forth. And there we go. Whew. Throw some of that out there. All right. What else have we got? I was getting for any of you that, I don't know if they played it in different countries growing up, but in Australia back in the day, there was like a show, I think it was like Oliver Twist or something. It might not have been Oliver Twist, it might have been called something else. But there was like a song that used to get played, and it was like, when strange things happen, are you going around the twist? And it was like a kid's show where like all sorts of random weird things happen. Like, I think sometimes I don't really feel like I want to take this. Hold on. I'm going to keep shuffling. Yeah, so sometimes I sort of vaguely have a memory. I don't know why. I keep getting these cards jump out and I'm like, we're not taking them. We're not here for it. I wonder if you guys are having some energies try to come through that you don't want to deal with, or maybe even if it's not you not wanting to deal with it, maybe you're kind of open to it, but maybe it's like spirit's kind of trying to block these people coming through. There we go. That's what we wanted. High Priestess. I'm going to take that as confirmation. Yeah. I don't know. Some type of energy coming through, whether it's because it wants to have its say, maybe it still will, I'm not sure. And if it's not because it wants to have its say, it's like, it might want to affect you. Like, it might want to get you emotional. It might want to get you riled up. It might be that energy we were talking about of this person trying to finesse you or redirect that kind of confrontational, focused energy in some way. I just feel like you guys know better too. So it's a bit weird. Some of you could be caught between like a fight and a flight sort of parasympathetic. Is it sympathetic? Yeah, sympathetic. So fight or flight. Yeah. And like nervous system where you could be in that fight or flight survival stage, and you might be you could be currently going through a stage where you're learning how to turn it off. So no wonder why some things could look scary to you, even if they're not. But then in other ways, it's like still really working for you. So you're not like totally in the clear. I feel like you'll get there. I think you'll get there probably a lot sooner than you think you will. But I also understand the feelings of not wanting to kind of overestimate your comfortability or safety or decision making or judgment or something like that. Whatever that is, like, you don't want to think you're in the clear just yet when you may have only newly come into this sort of energy. But I think you guys are also dually very, very intuitive. Yeah. Like this, if I have a readers would be in this group. If I have, energy workers, or if you just have, you might not even do any of those things. You might not even really practice. You could just be a person and living your normal day-to-day life, and you kind of get the messages come through sometimes. Others of you might put it down to having a nous or an inclination, or like some type of like logical better judgment or something. And I think you actually don't realize that you're a bit intuitive. It's kind of like this would be the group that you could have like I was going to say clairsentience by accident, but what I meant was like claircognizance. So you could have both, we'll see. Welcome in, Jackie, if you're here. But also, I don't know, I feel like I've got other readers here that are local too, so like welcome in, guys, if you are here. Anyway, you could have claircognizance. So you may just think that you're, like, I'm not saying that you're not smart, you could be both, right? You could be smart and have a bit of a clairsentience or something, or you could think it's common sense. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. You could think that your intuition is just common sense and these other people like it, but actually, like, there's something here, like, you might genuinely be very strong in that area, but you like also are intuitive, and to you somehow in the way it comes through to you, you could kind of perceive it the same. Or like you might not really pay attention in how it comes through, or it could generally seem like it lines up. Like, this could also be a group that it's like, if you maybe know you're intuitive and you might second guess it a little bit. I feel like this group's pretty confident about it. Like, it's like trusted, what is it, like tried and true, tested kind of energy. So it's like, and it's like, spirit's got your back and stuff, but maybe at times you kind of doubt it, but then you like can line it up with your common sense and you're like, no, that does make sense. And you like, it's almost like a spirit's got your back. It's almost like I see spirit, I know it's very much like a kudos, spirit giving you a good old like tap on the back or the shoulders, like, you got this. You don't even need my help. Look, we've got judgment coming through. I feel like you guys are actually quite good at making judgment calls in some way here. Is it scoops or pentacles? Is pentacles. I feel like there's some sort of greedy. I wanted to say a person. I actually feel like it's a lady. I don't even want to go to a point of like masculine, feminine, all that sort of rigmarole, whatever. Take what resonates for you. If you know that this is not a lady and the rest of it still matches, I'd say it's probably still for you. If this part doesn't, but the rest of the reading does, I feel like we've got a mishmash of a few things going on in this group, okay? I feel like there is a lady. There's something about her that's like wanting something that you do or something about you or something you provide. Or this could also be representative of that same lady kind of trying to finesse you. Although it might not be a lady finessing you. It could be a separate person, okay? But it's like, I've got the goods. Come here, I don't know, it's like, look at me, come here, spend time with me, come hang out with me. I'll make sure you're taken care of. We can live the good life. We can, I don't know, this is weird. I don't know how to explain this, so just hopefully it makes sense to you guys. It's like she's trying to entice you and she knows she's got a lot. This is like my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and their life is better than yours or my life. I don't know. Yeah, I could teach you, but I have to charge, because it's kind of like wants to draw you in close and then like, like, what's this hand gesture? It's like once you come in close, then it's like, all right, like what can we do with this now that you're kind of close to me, and how can you fit in here and work in here in some way? I don't know. This feels like a kind of crazy, I don't know. I think you guys have a lot to give and you're super capable and well-rounded, but something about you could have hardened you over time for sure. And so like when you see this, something about it could seem unobtainable or like it's too good to be true. And I would actually say in this instant that you're correct. Like you've got the High Priestess and the Judgment card here. I feel like you guys are so intuitive, you know. We've just talked about how your judgment is generally very good. I'm just getting the word trickery, and I can't, I don't know, maybe for this group you're used to having such good judgment and discernment and intuition, but like you're still caught up in that survival stuff and it's messing with your judgment, okay? But I think if there's a lady here that you're not sure about and you think she's trying to draw you in some way where it's actually like, I just get the sense she wants you close for some reason, and I don't know what it is. I almost get like she does seem bored. I actually, that whole thing, that analogy about like, then, you know, it's like generally when that was talked about, it was like a husband and a wife, and it was like the wife would like kind of gently caress or redirect like what area or what direction the man would pay attention to, and he was the head of the family and she would support. And so this, you know, and that it can still be true and be good, but this woman, I feel like it's like she's bored. She's like almost playing mind games or something. I don't know what this is about. And I would say some of you here that have come through, you could actually be this woman, and it's like, you know what you're doing, and I feel like you're trying to like tease or tempt someone in some way or draw them in or make someone part of your game or something like that. And to be honest, I think this person's genuinely not really interested, and I think that they're onto you, and if they're not, they will be soon. So take what resonates there. You know, this is the thing, is that I get the energy that if you push this person, if you are this lady, it's not gonna be good for you. And I don't know how to explain this. Like, you're just gonna have to find out. It's like FAFO. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, because we don't like that. I don't like that. Like, I don't know. I realize here that everybody is on their journey and we shouldn't be judgmental. But I just wish, you know, it'd be nice sometimes if people just like tried a bit harder, but you never know. She might have had it really good, and she might have never really had, you don't even know where another person's issues sort of begin and end, right? Where they stem from. So we're going to leave that here there for today, because that's not our problem. Like, it kind of is, but it's really not. All right, what else do we need? I feel like this has been a really long one so far. Yeah, we're like, I don't even know if I finished yet, and we're like 45 minutes in. All right, let's see what else we got. They're telling me more cards, guys, so just at this rate, I've still got 3 more groups to get through. I don't know. Hopefully this is helpful to you and serves you. Some of you could be feeling, I don't know if you were already confused or if you're feeling more confused now about the situation, because you could have 2 people potentially. So that whole thing about having a person that you could actually have 2 people around you. So you could have like one person that's kind of that lady trying to draw you in and kind of trying to finesse you and stuff, but you actually could have that other genuinely good person, if it was not actually reflective of your own energy, that is that sort of a bit more intuitive and transparent and clear in their expectations and communication, but maybe they are real woo-woo and stuff just doesn't make sense logically like you used to or wanting it to. But I feel like this group, you need to be heart-led. And we've got judgment again, guys. It's like, so is this, and we've got, what is that, 2, 20, 10, 2 10s are 20. We have, and 2 and 20. We have, I don't know. Okay, so the numbers 2, 10, 20, 22 could all be significant to some of you in some way. I feel like this group, you've got nothing to hide. You really, I think you've done well. Some of you, I don't know if it's because you live a life you're very proud of, you're very clean and clear in your own things, or you're acquainted with your shadow in some way. Yeah, I don't know. This is good, but yeah, I think you guys are like lifelong learners. Some of you could be coming up against a time in your life where you're not really sure what to do next, and they're just telling you to like maintain your center of gravity. Even when things sort of don't really seem to be what you want them to be, and they're not totally all the things, it's like, just keep moving, because even if it's like a long kind of tiring journey, you will get there, right? You'll get there. It'll all work out. Every now and then people will try to kind of hold things over you, but I think that you're so capable, and I think there is a call here for you to like lean into, I don't know, I hesitate telling people to lean into independency, because we need support and we need help from others at, you know, any random time in life when things happen. But for some of you, it's like the more time you spend with yourself, you're actually pouring back into yourself, and you're working on these skills or working on your health or something like that that's going to give back to you over the long term. So what I would say is maybe don't go isolating yourself, but maybe maintain relationships, but maybe you're just not like living in each other's pocket. Maybe you're pouring time into yourself and still doing the things you need to do that are good for you over the long term, but like you still maintain a relationship or something. So just take what resonates. Some of you could just be going back and forth in your head and you're not really sure what to do, and you feel like, I don't know. I get the sense here, some of you, you're like wanting some type of, I don't know if it's external validation. It's like you want someone else to make the judgment call. Maybe for some of you, it's like you don't really know how you feel or what you think of a situation, and you don't really know if you're like necessarily in the right or not. It's not really about being in the right or the wrong, but it's just like you're ready to like lay your soul bare and just be like, just make a call. It's like almost like a call to the universe, like, you spirit, if you think that I'm doing it wrong, tell me how to do it right. And if it's not that, it's kind of like, I'm trying my hardest and I'm doing everything I can and it's still not working for me. Like, what else can I kind of do? It's almost like this is very like humble. It's very accepting. It's very letting go. It's very like, and it may, when I say these things, you may not actually resonate with those specific words, not because it's not for you, but because it may feel so different in your experience to, like maybe you haven't connected those words with your experience because you actually feel like you've been fighting really hard for a long time, or you've been already enduring it, or you're really going around in your head. So you feel like, if I'm going around in my head so badly, it's almost like a sense of like losing control or wanting direction or knowing what to do or clarity or something, which is all kind of bubbles down to control as opposed to just accepting. But I think this judgment energy here, it's really just been like, this is me, this is everything that I have to give, and this is who I am, and this is like I've genuinely tried, I've genuinely got these good intentions, or I'm at peace with the times that maybe I didn't have that, or I didn't know what to do with it or how to use it, whatever that is. But it's like you're being encouraged to be heart-led in this situation. Whatever this is, I hope that helps, guys. I really hope that helps, because I feel like you're so genuine, and I only want you to get like the most out of this if you're connecting with this. So I'm just going to take one more card, and then we might try to wrap it up, because I know it's been a long one. If this ever happens, I feel like I've kind of talked a bit faster and got messages a little bit clearer than I do in sort of other readings. But if you're ever like unsure, you can always check the timestamps for how long they go, you know, as you're like clicking on. And if that's not a thing, you can always like, and if you do come into one of my readings and it's a little bit slower, you can always like hold down and kind of fast forward the talking a little bit just to get through it. Because there are a lot of times where I do kind of I just heard it's time to take the mask off. Some of you, maybe that's what that judgment is all about, where it's like you may be feeling like this is an act or some sort of interaction between you and spirit, or you and the world, or universe, or something. But it's really about you getting right with yourself, and being able to take your mask off with other people. There's something here, I feel like for a lot of you, maybe that's what all this is about. It's like really just being scared because of that vulnerability to actually be yourself, to take that mask off. And the Lapis Lazuli very much talks about being bold, being your authentic self. So yeah, I feel spirit is like, you've done so well to do everything you've done. You've like come through whatever this period is where you've had to like really make it work. And there's something about this time now, whether you're being called to take the mask off, or to lower it, or to, even if you do it slowly, but they still want you to do it, I feel like they're going to push you. This is one of those times where I feel that every now and then there's been these like weird, microscopic, monumental kind of moments in time where it's like, I'll get the feeling that I know something's not good for me, and that I really should make a change or do something different, or kind of cut a situation off or something like that. Whatever it is, and I like don't act on it. And I get that thought, and it's crisp clear every single time, and I just know that I probably shouldn't do that thing, or I should do something else, or whatever. And I don't follow through. And then when I don't follow through, do you know what happens? It's like the universe gave me the chance to make the choice myself. And they gave me even a couple of warnings. And I still ignored the thing, or bypassed the thing, and did whatever just being a bit like, whatever. Wanting to make that decision ourselves, or being caught up in the moment, whatever that looks like. And then the universe sends in that kind of tower moment where it's like, well, you knew better. You had multiple chances and choices here to sort of make a change or do the thing that you really want deep down in your soul, or that would be really good for you, and you still didn't do it. And this is spirit this may be the first or second time that you're kind of getting pushed here. I feel like spirit will give you a push. I feel like they'll be kind with you, particularly because you've like been so good or done so well here in something you were meant to do. You really made it work when it was hard and you shouldn't have had to. But there is something here. It's like, if you can't pull that mask down a little bit, they're going to push you into a position where you don't have as much of a choice. So they're really asking you, they're kind of saying that it would be more gentle and an experience that you can enjoy more yourself, of that emergence, that coming out, that whatever that coming out is for you, whether it's just being yourself, whether it's not being so private, whether it's not being so guarded or closed off, or allowing yourself to be a bit vulnerable, even if you feel a bit awkward and you're not sure if people reject you, or if people kind of, use certain things against you. There's always ways in which we can keep certain details to ourselves. We can sort of maintain a certain level of like your personal privacy, as well as like being yourself at the same time. So that's like, with this group, that's really like our balance here, is trying to find something where we can do both. We're in the middle. We're like really being ourselves, being authentic, being bold in who we are. We're not closing that off. We're not altering it to suit anybody, but we don't have to give away all the details of our life, okay? Yeah. I feel like this is meant to be like a very kind message, so I don't know if it's coming off that way. I hope it is. But it's also like a firm sort of like, give it the weight that it needs here, because if you're not going to try to take the mask off, the universe will push you, and it will push you. And if you don't do it, the universe will take the mask off for you. Okay, guys, that's everything that I have for you today. Hopefully this is helpful in some way. I really hope that it serves you. Much love. If if you're like new to this channel and the reading, if you're not subscribed, even if you're not new, and the readings resonate, definitely subscribe. But, you know, like, comment, all the good stuff. I'll see you in another one. Take care. Okay, welcome in group 2 if you chose the clear quartz, and this will be your group reading for today. Where I was getting a song come through, and I can't remember the guy's name, if it's like Leon Bridges or something like that. I always forget his name, and he's such a good artist. But if you know, do you know, for this one time I'm going to link it, because I did sort of say that I probably wasn't going to link songs anymore because it's too hard to keep track of. But for this group, I feel it's kind of like it would be cool for you to know, or important for you to know. So he sings a few different songs. There's like Smooth Sailing. There's one called Lisa Sawyer. There's a few different ones. Anyway, the song that was coming through, I can't remember the name or which song it is, but it was like, he's talking about, but there's blood on these hands. Yeah, and it's like laying your soul clean. Yeah, anything else? I think that was like the main part that I needed to kind of get out. And if more comes through later, then we'll keep going with that. But we've also got the gardener card here. So I do need to say that the numbers, like, I think we're getting 2, 10, 20, and 22 seem to be important. They're important for group 1 as well, if that's something you feel called to. That would just be confirmation for you, or those numbers could be like kind of significant to you in some way. For some of you, like the master number 22 could be a thing, right? Or even like 10, 10 on the clock, if that's a thing as well, okay? Like a confirmation or something. So the gardener, and like hearing that song, that, like, you know, yeah, like laying your soul. I don't know. I'm starting to get a bit mixed up in it and starting to like lose the song as I'm getting another message come through. But it's very much, for me, it's like very healing, very clean. Like gardening, putting your head to rest and using your hands, doing something that's like good for you, for the soul, like really pouring into your environment around you, making it beautiful or enjoying it, and like really interacting into, what is it? You're like engaging with the world around you in a really beautiful and meaningful way. And it can be like really, I don't know, like soul healing. So like gardening can be like a diversional therapy, like horticultural therapy. And so it can be like a really lovely, wonderful way to kind of work through things like grief or rehabilitational type therapies. So many benefits from it. So yeah, and that blood on my hands, it's like you could be getting right with yourself and the world and the universe. You could be tired of fighting. You could just, I don't know, this group, you make me feel like you're good people, and maybe you've done something dumb, or you just maybe accidentally jeopardized something or threw it on the line. You might have accidentally pushed something too far, and it could have kind of turned your world upside down. You could have lost good people because of this. I don't feel like you guys are bad people. I feel like you just made a bad decision. So just take what resonates here. And this is like a time for healing, a time for nurturing, a time for pouring into yourself. You can choose how you handle this situation with grace coming out of it. It doesn't mean that you have to make more bad decisions if that is something, if you know that you already did sort of do that. Because you can kind of have that like one-off moment of like learning or poor judgment or like getting caught up in the moment, but it's just, What I will say is that there comes a point where people will become very intolerant of that type of behavior, whether you mean to do that sort of thing or not. And so what I would say is that when you're younger, people are generally more forgiving. There's still a lot of potential. There's still a lot of like room for correction and kind of course redirection. I feel like you guys may be in need of something like that. And so for you, this could signify closing out some sort of cycle. Some of you, this could have been something that kind of happened 10 years ago. I don't know how old this is for you. I feel like for most of you, it's probably more recent. I'm going to take more cards. Maybe we'll try this. There we go. Let's see. The last hurrah and the dead end job. Let's go 30, 31. So some of you could be, you know, we did have 20 and 22, but we could have like 30 and 31 here as well. So that could have been like a significant period of your life in which something had happened, but it could have been something that played out in the last 2 years, the last 10 years as well. I feel like whatever this is that I was talking about could have been signified by your last hurrah. It's like, you know, the last chance you had to really make a mistake or a bit of an F up that really blew out of control, blew up a situation or something. That's your last hurrah. It's like, that's your last chance to kind of get it right. Something like that, maybe. For some of you, it was like the last time that you had fun. I don't know. I don't want to say that's the case, but for some of you, I feel like that may be the only way you know how to have fun. And if that's the case, you need to like start working on something else. But again, I feel like you're generally like good people, but I don't know if you just took something too far. You may have been in a situation that you didn't see a light at an end of a tunnel. You may have been in a time or a stage of life where you weren't enjoying it. You may have felt overpowered, underpaid, overworked. Whatever that old energy is, I think this is like a time of like renewal. So it's like you're closing out that cycle, you put into rest whatever that old behavior is or was, or whatever that thing was that may have blown up your life, whatever the mistake is. I feel like, here's the thing, you could actually have someone good around you already, whether this is a person who's kind of like weathered a storm with you, or whether this is a new person, or whether this is even just like extra help and advice that you're being gifted somehow from the universe because they like know that you're a good person in some way. So it's like, I think this person's a lifeline for you and they're actually really lovely for you to have around. And there's something here where it's like they're going to really help you in some way, whether this is in terms of like a rehabilitation or building a good life or moving forward with those, taking good action. But they're not to be taken for granted. This is maybe the only last person who will really help you before you're left on your own if you do something like that again. Okay, what else do we have? So, this could be like I don't know if this message particularly is like a point of clarity, as opposed to you guys having gone through a period where you've reached a new type of clarity in a situation, or that's something that you're like coming into. But it's like amplified clarity. So it's almost like you're seeing everything with really crisp clarity in the situation, exactly as it is. Maybe what you like, everything I'm saying would not be news to you. It's like you would totally understand. It would already be something that you know. It's like confirmation, or I'm reiterating it for you, okay? But there's something here where it's like you've almost got it under a microscope, or you've got it under a magnifying glass, or you're really looking into it. It's like very amplified. So for some of you, it's like you don't need me to tell you how you may have made a mistake. It's like very apparent or obvious to you. It could be a bit of a thorn in your side that you already know and you still haven't really gotten rid of the pain from it. I don't know if that's the case. You just take what resonates. Okay, what else do we have? I'm going to take more cards. I'm just hearing some of you need to take more time for yourselves. So whether that looks like having slow mornings and cups of coffee or whatever it is that you do, or doing some gardening. Yeah, I feel like there's something here about that last hurrah being the faster paced parts of your life, not needing to be a thing anymore, or like steering clear from that living hard, living fast in the bin. Okay. I don't mean to be here telling people what to do, but it's what's coming through, okay? So just, you obviously do whatever it is that you want to do, but this is what's coming through. I'm just hearing tourmalinated quartz as well, which could be a good one for you to work through. Okay, so we have fluorite with the third eye chakra, destiny. Follow your instincts, they lead to the truth. And root chakra, snowflake, obsidian, safety in the hurricane, a life, a strong foundation will keep you safe. Some of you guys could have just not been taking life very seriously when you were kind of going through a bit of a hard time. Some of you may need to drink more water. Some of you need to eat better food. You need to get enough rest. Some of you could be avoiding certain things or experiencing certain aversions. Some of you could have walked away from something that wasn't very fulfilling or wasn't making you happy. Some of you, this is what you're being asked to walk away from. It's like you're currently in a situation. Maybe for some of you, this hasn't really fully played out yet and you're being asked to walk away. And I don't mean that in a case of like the universe is saying that it's not right. It's like, you know, for your own kind of happiness or your own peace, purpose, sense of mind, peace of mind, your own fulfillment in life, your own joy, living a full-bodied life. You know that something about your current life is not what you want and you're the only person who has the power to make a change here in some way. Okay, and so when you walk away, your only choice will be to rebuild on a steadier, more solid path. And it will be very much like one day at a time or one step at a time. Doing what you can, making the responsible decisions, being practical, being reasonable. I feel some of you, I wonder if some of you, I could have like men in this group. I mean, you might not be, that's fine. You could have a person that you're going to put forth an offer to. And I don't feel like this is legal or contractual or anything. It's like here, look what I have and how I could take care of you, or how I could provide you a house, how I could sustain you, how I could, it's like, take my hand, I will give you peace, or take my hand and I will, I want to say shelter you from the rain or something like that. I don't know if you really have the means to kind of take care of a person like that just yet, but I think some of you will get there over this time. For others of you may be on the other side of this. And so this is like something that you may have a new person that's kind of been going through a range of experiences that we've been talking about, and they're actually going to put forth an offer to you in some way. And I think you may see this coming before it happens. Or there's something about this person's intent where you may see underneath, it's like you see the actions and they look very noble, but you see underneath there may not be a whole heap of substance to it. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's not sustainable. So maybe it really is genuine. They really mean it. But you just are unsure how long lasting this could be. How much longevity is in this offer. And so if you are this person putting forth an offer to someone, I think you're really trying your best, and you want to make it work. And I think you want to, I think you have the ability to make this really good and to go really far. But it really comes down to your maturity and mentality around how you handle a situation that may come up in the future. Because I think right now it's very good. And I think maybe for the next couple of years it'll be good. But when you're faced with certain situations, it's like they're going to be the make or break moments for you. And I think this person that you're going to put an offer towards, they can tell. Yeah. Some of you, you'll put this offer forward and this person, it will be like returned. But like they don't have a lot to give you. All they have to give you is like love and kind of support. So that this person that you're putting an offer towards may not actually have a lot, whether that's financially or terms of like security or something. They may not actually have a lot to give you back other than just like purely love and support, or like, yeah, like their feeling is very strong for you. Okay. All right, so we're going to put that away. Some of you need to feel safe before your third eye can kind of do its job. Some of you may not be getting the messages that you meant to get at this point in time. I feel the need to say that whatever happens here, whatever way this all plays out, it's all like part of your destiny anyway. So like, yes, we have free will. Yes, timelines are always changing. Energy is ever fluent, but it's like, you're not going to miss the things that are meant for you. Like, you're not going to have a lot of control over that anyway. It's just going to happen kind of thing. So it's like funny doing readings like this. We have very contradicting messages, okay? Definitely some type of like offer, opportunity, or goal in sight here. Some like a new vision, but like something that you're going to actively take steps towards or work towards. It's like a new opportunity to start fresh, to do it again, have something really solid, something that works, something long term. For some of you, it could be like a reunion. I'm not really feeling that massively, but it's there. There could be like a sacredness to this if you're willing to actually hold up your end of the bargain. The thing is that if you do it, you or this person could potentially want to hold on to things. Like, there could be a fear of letting go or being guarded. There could be like, it's like a holding on to things. I don't know. Like, maybe you or this person, someone here, feels like there's not really enough to share, or they're like scared to share in some way, or one of you is not very grounded, or that's going to be part of this experience. Is like, maybe you've got everything happening here except some type of like groundedness. So like, maybe you guys have all the attraction or chemistry, or you get along really well and move well together, but then like maybe there's a lot of emotions and it's like quite fulfilling, and maybe there is even in some essence like, I don't really feel like the mental stuff here is as big a deal, but maybe you're just like on par with that. Like, it's not really taking the forefront, but it's like almost a match. Whereas like in terms of the practical stuff in life, that's where something here, it's like there's this opportunity to really do this thing. How far can you genuinely take it? How sustainable is it? I think you want to do it. I think you have good intentions. I think you've got the ability to pull it off if you really try, but I think it might be harder than you think. Or there might be, maybe you get there and it's not about being harder than you think, but maybe you get there and you just realize that there's a lot more to it that's got to continue to go into it to build into the future, or that there'll be some type of kind of shadow worky stuff that will come up around it where maybe you do really well, but it brings up a lot of feelings from old situations here that you haven't quite let go of. So you could potentially take some sort of like old habits out of a previous relationship into a new one that doesn't deserve it. This person's not reflective of someone that you've dealt with before, or this situation, something about it, whatever that is. Maybe for some of you, you've like never had this much, so it's going to make you a bit guarded. Yeah. A bit more protective. Yeah. All right, group 2, I don't really have much more for you with this one. That's kind of everything that I'm getting. So hopefully this is helpful to you in some ways. Kind of like a level of awareness here, and a little bit of like a, where you're at, a bit of awareness, potentially something coming in, what's happening. I wish you luck in how you navigate your situation. And I'll see you all in another one. Take care. Hey, welcome in group 3. If you chose the Pyrite, then this will be your group reading for today. And we were talking about like what could potentially come up over the next 48 hours, or how things are going to get shaken up, even if that time period does not apply to you. So the Tower, I think things are really going to get shaken up. So it could be something very unexpected. There could be something that kind of changes fundamentally, or it's like a big deal. It could really rock your world a little bit. It doesn't have to be so big and super serious, but it definitely could be. Some of you, there's going to be something here where it's like, I don't know if it's a way that you portray yourself out to the world that is going to make it look like it's not that bad, or maybe that's how you get caught up in this Tower moment. Maybe something about the way that you present yourself accidentally puts you in a Tower moment because of, yeah, something that you do say, how you present. Could be like a false foundation. I feel like that's generally what the Tower is though, right? It's like things that are not real steady are going to come down anyway. We were getting that like boom boom shake the room kind of song come through earlier. Some of you, I don't know if it's you or someone else here, or it's like there's like 1 or 2 people here that are like not learning from an experience. So it's like Spirit's having to shake it up again or more, or it will happen again if like you're not paying attention or something. So some of you could just be going about your daily life and you're like maybe a little bit distracted or really in the moment, or you're like, I don't know, some of you, you're on your phone a lot, but you're like missing life, or you're missing an opportunity, or you're missing fundamental sort of practical things being put in place to kind of prevent something like this from happening, and then it happens. And then for some of you, it's like you almost barely even look up and you're just like, oh, my life is a wreck now. What can I even do about it? But it's like you could have done something about it, but you're on your phone. And so that might not necessarily be the actual situation that plays out. That could just be like an example for you. But I feel like there's multiple people here involved. So what I would say is that there could also be a group scenario that plays out. And some people here are just like actually not paying attention because they're like, maybe you're at like a gathering or a group get together and some people are on their phone, or they're like having fun or taking selfies together, or they're like just kind of self-involved at that point in time. And then like something goes on in the background where there's like some type of conflict or something between other people. And it's actually like a bit of a big blow up, and maybe you should have been paying attention, or you miss like key details, or like I wonder if people like I'm not sure if it's a case that people are not telling you the truth, or something bad happens that should have not happened. I wonder, I don't know, for some of you, do you go to like a group event that, I don't know, what are we leading up to? We've got Halloween coming up, so it could be like a Halloween kind of party or something. I think by the time that I get this reading out, might be like just after Halloween. I'm not sure. I might try to post them earlier. I feel like I like change my mind all the time whether I'm trying to post videos to be regularly coming out, even when I am inconsistent, as opposed to then just wanting them to like hit as soon as I drop them as well. So just, I'm still trying to work that out, and it'll probably continue to change for a little bit until I work it out. Then I'll let you know. But there's like a real potential for things to come to like a crashing halt. I wonder for some of you if something like happens at an event to do with other people that rocks your world, or like someone handles a situation in a way that you did not expect, or like they didn't honor a type of like loyalty you expected them to have. There's something here that's like should have, or to you was very fundamental at its core, that it's like, we have nothing if we don't have this, and it just wasn't there. And it's like to this other person it just went straight over their head, and then to you it's like, well, what do we like, where what do we do with this? Like, where are we left now? Like, obviously it's not a thing anymore because you can't even do this. And then it's kind of sad because I feel like you got so far in. I know we're going to, that's not going to be the case for everyone. I feel like it probably is for a lot of you. I don't know if any of you are experiencing a headache or not, because it could just be representative of this situation just being messy or stressful or not wanting to deal with it, or you could actually have a headache, not sure. So that could also be a reason that like you may have missed something because you kind of did have a bit of a headache at the time, or you're a bit down and out, I'm not sure. Maybe something was like going on in the background that we were unaware of. More cards. Okay. There is something here where you're like being asked to, I don't know, it's like honor your bright light and be confident in something. I don't know, for some of you, you actually being the star of a show could be a bit of a tower moment for other people. And if that's the case, they don't want you to change that. Like, it doesn't matter if other people have like an adverse reaction to you being the star of the show. They want you to embrace that, and other people have to work out how they feel about it, right? And I do feel like there will be people may try to interfere in some way. Like, some people may just not like that you have this quality or that you're embracing something. Some of you could have had a glow up. You could be doing something different. There could be different people here involved, or people are seeing you in an environment they're not used to seeing you in. And then when that happens, it's a little bit like a shake up of their view of you. So it's like maybe not a literal tower moment where something bad happens, but maybe somebody has an internal tower moment where like whatever they thought they knew about you is like blown up. Some of you could have two different types of people around you. Do you know what it makes me think of? If you had like work friends and party friends, and they like all come together and mix together. Or maybe you have like spiritual friends or religious friends, and then you have like party friends or something. There's some sort of like blending of two different groups of people in your life. So you could be a person that would generally be friends with or have a lot of connections of all walks of life, and then you like there's some sort of group event, and then everyone comes together, and then there's like a little bit of like a juggling act of like, how do I kind of make this work or keep it afloat with these different types of people, because there's something really awkward about it that you couldn't have accounted for, or even if you did, it's kind of like not really. It's like it makes me feel like it's not your responsibility, but for some reason you feel like you just really want to make it work. So you're trying, even if it feels like it's exhausting or a lot of work. And then, yeah, I don't know, for some of you, you may not realize that there's like an underlying type of competition going on here that maybe, I don't know, it's like friends maybe competing for your attention or something, or other people trying to compete with you. And so I don't know, if it's not that, it's literally like a conflict between whatever it is that you're trying to keep afloat, okay? Could be just a conflict between people. If I didn't say that already, I feel like I like said it without saying the words, and people can't read minds, right? So there's also something there where it's like, whether it's you or someone else in your life, like thinks something is communicated, but it really hasn't been. And you just need to be really mindful of the way that you say things to people. There are times that you may have to like spell it out, because you may be used to people that know you really well, and they just like, you generally operate from a similar like mental space where you've already like thought of a lot of the same things as like a foundational type of thought system or something. And if it's not that, it's like, you may just assume people are on the same page, or that people have the similar struggles to you. There could also be something here where it's like, you may assume that everybody is coming together for like a fun time or something, whereas there are other people here that are like kind of dealing with things that you either don't know about. It is actually a conflict of interest in some way, or they are competing in some way. So I can't say this is total competition, as I get drowned out in a lot of other readings. There could be like genuine conflict of interest here. So there could be like people that like you, and then there's like other people that are just your friends, or there could be like two people that like you. I don't know, this feels like there could be so many scenarios here, or there could be like multiple kind of in one coming to a head, and it's like, I don't know. For some of you, I think there's like a new person comes in and they're really attractive and they see you and they've got their eye on you and they kind of want to make moves towards you, and they might, and that might be part of what causes this tower moment, and that could be for somebody else as well. So, and that could be part of that like headachy energy, because someone could be like a little bit strategic in how they move towards you and they don't really care if they cut somebody else's grass. Okay, so something like that. Meanwhile, keeping in mind your shoe could be on the other foot and you could kind of be this person moving towards someone else, and you might get a little bit underhanded because you can see that like something's a bit rocky here and you're like, yep, now's the time, and maybe you time it well, but maybe it kind of rocks this person's world that you're moving towards, and maybe more of like a subtle approach could have been more tactful or could have given more longevity. But also I feel like this person, I'm not sure if they are worried about longevity. It seems more like a fun time, not a long time thing. Or there's been such level of attraction for such a long time. It's like all of that goes out the window when the window of opportunity presents, okay? This could even be a friend of a person that you're engaged with or interested in some way. So it's like, but I don't know. I wonder if you and your person have like a fight or a fallout, or you're like, maybe you're not like totally in conflict, but you're like a little bit snippy at each other and there's tension in the air and this person can smell it and they capitalize on it. I don't know. Maybe like throw someone a bone, or I don't know. Maybe it's like you have a friend that kind of does this with your person and it's like a bit of a shock to the system that you didn't think that like your person would go for it. I don't know. But then there's like a call to actually get really matter of fact about it. You may actually have to come off a little bit cold, or I don't know. It's like you're being asked to be detached, matter of fact, call a spade, even if you come off like a bit of a bitch. I'm not saying that you will, but I'm saying that you may be called into an energy where you actually have to cut through all the other stuff that people want to throw at you or say something is, or all of the feelings and the thoughts and actions and stuff, and just go like, what really is it? It's like, you know, if you can't tell exactly what it is, which I feel like you'll be able to, it's like you need to be able to name it. You need to be able to like work out where you're going to go from here, because clearly whatever this is not conducive. And people need to pull their finger out and find a way that they can come together in a conducive way, or it just can't be done. And there needs to be like ties severed or something like that. Okay. We want more cards. Yeah. Just going to get a drink of water. That could also be a call for like some of you. That could be something kind of important, is that especially if this is a time where people are like drinking or doing extra other things and they're dehydrated, or they've had like a really big day, or like a working bee style thing. I don't think it's a working bee, but it could be. However it is that people have come together, you could be coming together over the summertime and it's really hot and people are hot and bothered, and it's like you're just not drinking enough water to even like think about anything else. I know it's weird, but anyway. If you're not retaining enough water, it's like just going to make everything harder than it needs to be. And so there could be something here where there's like not enough retaining of like that emotional fulfillment and supportive energy. So that could have been how something comes to a head here, because people are lacking like a type of like supportive energy, really. Whether that's you or this person or both of you, it's like there was something in this connection that was a little bit deprived of that like watery supportive energy. Yeah, it's like you guys, I don't know, I wonder if some parts of this connection were a little bit superficial, but that was so strong in all the other areas that it like really seemed like it was really sold. I don't know, I think it was even sold. I think you may have genuinely thought this was like really the one or something, or this situation was like really great. Like maybe you hadn't had something this fun before, or something that made you feel this alive or important, and so you like really fed into it. And then when it really comes down to it, it's like missing. I know the watery energy can sometimes seem like it comes off like it doesn't really hold a lot of weight, but like without it, it can be hard to hold things together in some ways. Like it's hard to go the distance if you don't have that there, depending on like what way you kind of operate in life, right? Like generally, like, I don't know, earth and water are like the binding, right? maybe if you mix the two together. Hard to say. You got to be practical, but there's got to be that supportive element. Okay. Anyway, we're going to move forward from that because I don't want us to get lost, and I feel like that could just take people places. It's like a whole nother tangent, a whole nother reading. We don't need to. We got to focus on what's at hand. Okay. Some of you could be called to actually observe a person and to make a call for like who they really are. There's something that you could have been ignoring about a person, or a lifestyle choice, or the way that they kind of operate or engage with other people. Some of you, this person could have been messaging people without you knowing, or something like that. It almost, I don't really get third party energy. I just feel like there's like a being interested in or building connections without you being present or in the know or something like that. And if it's not that, it could be like the reverse. Like you could be on the receiving end of some type of, like maybe a person's messaging you heaps, but like they're really in a connection. Or you could be this person that is doing the messaging even though you're in a connection, trying to kind of start, initiate, or elicit some type of like new connection outside of something already existing, because things are a bit rocky. It feels good to you in the moment to kind of, maybe if there's some way where this is not, it's not a very like straightforward traditional relationship, or maybe you're on again, off again, or maybe there's something here where it's kind of open, or you're not solidified in some way, or maybe you guys are not even together, but like you've spent a lot of time off and on over time coming together. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, so we have use creativity to transform your pain into positivity, and we have vulnerability. Showing vulnerability is a sign of strength. So I think this is like part of how you would like transmute whatever this scenario situation is, or something that you may be called to step into. It's like, maybe this will help get that cups energy flowing for you, where it's like, maybe there is a lot of pain there and you do need to find a way to create something beautiful from it. And that's the way that you'll sort of transmute the energy. And it's like, some of you could be really scared to be vulnerable because you just feel like it's going to be used against you, or you're going to be taken advantage of, you're going to lose out in some way, or someone else is going to come in and capitalize on the situation because you're down and out being sad or blue, for the reference. But there's, I don't know, some people here just purely don't like how bright your light shines, and I think they're going to try to like steal the show, and they're going to try to do it by making you feel or look small or something like that. And I think at that point you need to question something about this person, and if this person who tries to do something like that to you, even if they're not one of your direct like friends or family or a work associate, whoever it is that they come into your life, it could be like one of your person's friends or something. And at that point you kind of need to question, well, do they know that their friend is like that? Do they know that they do that stuff? Do they know that they do it behind their back? And if it's not behind their back, is your person in the know kind of complicit, or are they like that too? There's something here where there's something that needs to be acknowledged that hasn't been so far. We're going to take more. Yeah, I feel like something's going to blow up here in someone's face, and when it does, it'll potentially set people back into like a really emotional state, or feeling kind of consumed or vulnerable, or not knowing how to navigate the situation. It could genuinely just be really sad. I do have to say that. You could just be, yeah, look, we've got Three of Swords. You could literally cause an ending to some type of relationship or connection here, or maybe like the night ends on like a really sad note, and it's just like heartbreaking or a bit of a betrayal energy in some way, or it's like really stressful on top of it. Or maybe it almost makes me wonder, for some of you, if this is going to something is going to happen publicly, and if it's not public in front of like a whole party or like 30 plus people, maybe you've got like a handful of like, maybe you've got like 10 people on the inner know of some sort of like, you know, maybe you're kind of closer in inner circle here, and there's like a few people that are like kind of close to you and your person that know what's going on. And so even if it's not like every single person there knows, you're still having to like hold it together on the night, but also it's like there is still other people that kind of know. It's not something you can just like keep it to yourself between you and this other person, it's like people are going to know about it. And then I think the longer that people know about it, that you don't tell people, it's like, you know, I think some of these other people might be close to some of the other people at the party. If it's not a party, at some sort of event or situation over a period of time, the word will spread a little bit. I don't think you necessarily need to get in front of this or ahead of it, because I think that you're probably the person that's experiencing something here, so it's not like you're needing to kind of confront anything, but I think it might be tender for you for quite a while. You may not actually want to talk about it. You may have people checking that you're okay and stuff, and you may want to like kind of end it early, or you may want to go home, you may want to shut it down, you may not want to have events like this again in the future. This may not be an event, but I just feel like there's some type of gathering. If it's not a gathering, it's like, I don't know, are you at like a work event? Or if it's not a work event, is it like there's some sort of group coming together here? That's what it feels like. If it's not a group coming together, does something blow up in like a group chat or something? I don't know. And then it's like worse because it's even more obvious, because it's like every single person in the group chat can clearly see something that's happened, unless things have happened behind the scenes they don't understand or know about. That will kind of help fill in the blank. But there's something here where it's like justice is going to play out in some sort of way. And so it's kind of like, I think the universe is going to expose someone or put someone on, what's the word? I don't know. They're going to put someone on display. Yeah, expose someone, or something that someone's doing. Someone doing something wrong is it's like a light's going to be shone on it. Like if there's like a conflict or some sort of, someone's trying to play unfair, it's going to get exposed, or it's going to blow up in their face or backfire. Page of Wands, yeah. And they, you know, if someone's being really opportunistic in something, it's like, yeah, it could really backfire. It could really, they might be getting ahead of themselves. I don't know. Yeah, and I think it's not going to end good for anyone. Okay, anyway, I want to see, can we take some sort of like advice? Is there something here that would be good for group 3? I was going to say group 4, and look, when I first pulled the cards and actually set up for today, I did actually wonder if group 3 and 4 would have some type of a connection. So I'm going to take that as confirmation. Only go check it out if you already feel called to, or if you're interested, I guess, if you got time. So you might not know how to handle this situation. There's something here about like trusting that your heart is, you're like coming from the right place, or your heart's intentions or something like that. Trusting that you had people's, I don't know, I think you might have been considerate here of other people. Like you may have actually wanted good things for other people, and you may be internalizing how other people treat you or act in a situation. And so you may feel like it's some type of judgment. Whereas for others of you, I don't know, maybe like wore your heart on your sleeve and you just did something out of pocket, and then you're like kind of forced to deal with the judgment of the aftermath of whatever it is. Let's see what else we got. That doesn't really seem like advice. Give me one moment. I set a whole bunch of cards for some of you are going to be asked to lean on friends, and you may actually, this may not be something that you'll really get advice on. It may actually, like, it'd be good for you to be supported and have people around you that care and can kind of hold your hand if you're crying or something. But, like, you may not actually get straightforward advice here, because there may be something internally that you kind of need to work out yourself. You may need some sort of shift in perspective. There may be some sort of realization that needs to happen, or there may be something else that needs to play out further down the line for you to kind of realize, like, it's as if, like, someone flicks off a set of dominoes. Not saying this is like intentional, but just an example of like this tower moment happens and there's still something about it that you're missing, like something about it that you didn't see of how it started in the first place. And so there is like a little bit more time invested here for you to see how something plays out, so that you can kind of like put all the pieces of the puzzle together in some way. But for the others of you, it's like you're really, there's something here about the timing of when something, how something happens and why it happens, where it's like maybe you're, some of you know that like you've got you need friends around you, or you're relying on your friends, or you're trying to like I don't know, there's something here where it's like, you know, you may spend, you just, if things don't go the way they're meant to, I'm getting goosebumps about this, that you may spend time on your own and that you kind of need what support that you can get. But there's something here, it's like you're still not seeing the whole of a picture here. There's something like, some of you don't know how good you are, that you're actually a wish fulfillment, and that you don't, I don't know, there's something here like about your situation that's like you either are currently experiencing, or it could be something that you experience where this tower movement, whether it's a person or something in the situation, means that you get left out in the cold, that like you might feel, there might be like some type of abandonment thing here. I just feel like if someone else initiates a connection with someone else and decides that they don't want part of whatever this is anymore, it's like you're going to be left on your own, and then they may try to coax you back in, or maybe they don't, I don't know, I kind of get a thing here where it's like, maybe this person doesn't do anything outright hurtful, but it just is anyway. And it may feel kind of toxic and like, it may be very tempting, like it may be like good short-term fun in the moment, but like where's the longevity of this support and stuff? So your friends are going to be, whoever it is that you're close to is going to be very important. This kind of gives me the energy of like your friends being your long-term support, not a partner, not a fling, not a, like you may have previously given more weight to some type of like intimate romantic connection, but it doesn't seem like it bared a lot of weight. Yeah, you guys, you may be starting again in something here. Not saying that's the case for everyone. Like you could be in a relationship and this is like nothing to do with a romantic relationship that you're in. It could be like a different area of work. If this is to do with work, I would say that a person that you're dealing with actually has like romantic feelings for you, even if to you, you're not really interested or inclined in that person or that way. So I don't know, take what resonates here, guys. This is a bit of a funny one. It's definitely, something's definitely going to play out here for some people, but I don't really like it. People feel undecided, like they don't really know what they want, they don't really appreciate what they have, and other people are going to get left in the lurch here because of that sort of scenario or situation. But there is something here where I feel like there should have been more time taken to kind of look into something or even evaluate how you feel about something. I have to ask the question for this group. Have you not given your thoughts and feelings enough weight in this situation? Have you put somebody else's thoughts and feelings above your own? And so you've just gone along with it, or you've decided this is part of what I want, so I'm going to embrace it. Maybe you're challenging yourself in some way. And it's like, it was unfair to have asked you to do that. I don't know. All right, guys, that's everything I have for you. Shine bright. Don't let people kind of dim your shine. There's something about your confidence here. Like, whatever this is, it may take a bit of a hit to your confidence, but there's something here where it's like spirit is asking you to take up room and still be confident, and just, I don't know, if you're really afraid of the judgments that you've made, maybe you have to reconsider them. But maybe if there's a way that you can kind of reconsider the decisions that you've made where you're not losing confidence. Like, there's something about like just owning it, or I don't know, it's hard for me to kind of pull that together. Hopefully it makes sense to you, or hopefully it will in the moment, even if it doesn't now. But anyway, all right, guys, it could be willpower actually as well. So it might not even really be about confidence as much. There could have been something here where you were really confident and your willpower kind of overrode some sort of sense of self or self-worth. So yeah, that would be a call to check in with yourself and see how you really feel. Don't let a random person on the internet tell you what's happening in your situation or in your own mind, thoughts and feelings. If it's not already like confirmation to you of a knowing of your situation. So anyway, guys, that's everything that I have. Take care of yourselves. I think you need some good people around you during this, whatever this time is. So I want to say, if in this group, if you're still here, nah, this might not play out over the next 48 hours. It could, but again, remembering I'm not sure when this video is going to be put out. So I think, what's today? I don't know if today's like the 29th or the 30th of October. What are we? Thursday? and Halloween's on Friday. So Halloween would be within 48 hours, but for some of you, it could be up to 2 weeks. So like 2 days to 2 weeks, sometime within in that time. Okay, anyway, guys, group 3, good luck. I don't know what else to say other than good luck. And if this resonates with you and you found it helpful, definitely subscribe. If you haven't, like, comment, all the good stuff. I'll see you in another one. Take care. Okay, welcome in group 4 if you chose the green amethyst or what I think is called Prasiolite. Could be wrong. I'll correct it when I put it in the timestamps. This will be your group reading for today. So something about your world that's going to be shaken up could occur over the next 48 hours. I'm getting a lot of strong mother energy here. Divine Empress energy was more to the point. So this could be like divine feminine. This could be very in touch with your intuitive, motherly, nurturing side, family roots, potentially. This feels very much like being interconnected, interwoven with spirit and the universe, embracing the feminine, being who you are, being very loving, very caring, very nurturing, very intuitive. Sign Kira, some of you in this group, they could have like a strong sense of like clairsentience or claircognizance. There is like a knowing. It could just be a strong sense of logic. It does seem here, some of you may not like be a mother, but people may see you as that caring, nurturing person. I feel for most of you that you probably are at least some type of parental or carer type figure, okay? But there's something here where you have like a strong seeing, knowing, clearing, hearing. I don't know what I'm trying to say. There is some sort of like clear understanding of a situation and a clear seeing. Yeah. And what is it? It's like understanding something from a logical point of view. It's like you see the truth and clarity. You see the truth of a situation with clarity. And it makes sense to you in some way. And it's like, because you have such clarity of the truth, you're able to really like center your heart, like focus, what is it like? Focus your heart-led energy where you're able to like direct it or channel it. And excuse me, it's becoming hard for me to talk now. It could be like you're able to be quite balanced between your head and heart. I definitely feel like for this group that if there is not already a person in your energy right now that is coming in for you or is already in a situation, that a new person is coming in. I would say that if you are in some type of long-term connection here for you, this may not be for you. You may have another group here. I did get a message in group 3 that group 3 and 4 could be linked in some way. The way this is looking, there could be like an inverse, like the other person in the scenario, but it could also be like a before and after situation as well. So if you already felt called to go and check out group 3, definitely do, because I can see some things how they could be lining up here, and just take what resonates. So something here is like, if you are the feminine, you're like very beautiful. There's something, it's like this person is extremely attracted to like very feminine qualities, like beautiful qualities, where it's like, it is very attractive. It's like all the rougey, intimate parts as well are definitely on the higher list of part of that attraction as well. And they really like the way that you mother or that you are feminine. There's like strong attraction to the feminine qualities and aspects here, okay? If you would be like, if this person is masculine, if you are masculine energy here, there is like a strength. Do you know what it is? It's just like very strong attractions. It's like teenager like quality level attraction, but it's like with adults, loving, consensual, caring, very healthy. Yeah. but I feel like it comes in kind of out of nowhere. Like it could be quite fast, or there could be like a lot of acceptance. There could be a lot of, you could just get along really well as well. There could be something here where you feel seen or heard or understood, or you could do that for each other in some way. I think that this group, you would be a group that is generally like graceful, and that could be part of that strong attraction this person feels for you, or like how they make that up. There could be, for some of you, like a spiritual or divine connection here if you are both on that pathway. Some of you could be thinking about the things that you want in life and what it would feel like to have it, more of like a manifestation and visioning type of scenario. It could be bleeding into potentially like fantasy and whatnot, and there is something here where it's like your soul is beginning to open up to calling in or being open or recipient to something like that. For most of you, I feel like this is coming in if it hasn't already. And there is something here where it could be really hard to see straight. It could, like, a lot of the clarity that you generally have in the day-to-day could become muddled, and there could become a blurring between that, like, clarity of mind and that heart-centered focus energy that you have. You could be quite grounded in the heart arena normally in your day-to-day, but when this energy comes in, it's very hard for you. You may lose focus. It may be hard to see straight. It could be potentially a little bit like you could be predispositioned to like a disillusioning energy around it. Although for some of you, it's like you could fall into a state of like limerence where you could become potentially infatuated. I ain't getting the word obsessed, but I just feel like it's maybe not knowing everything there is to know about this person, but just being very okay to kind of go adrift with the situation and see how it unfolds. Just potentially being a little bit consumed by it, or very like entrenched or like saturated. It's like being saturated with the feelings, and just wanting to go along with it kind of thing. So you may not see and know everything there is that you should about this situation, but there is something here about it where you're kind of happy to let go of that other stuff. There could be something about this situation that is hidden, so you don't have all the information, but there could be certain things that when this situation plays out, let's say it is really healthy and holistic, we're not really sure just yet. It looks good so far, on the surface anyway. This could trigger some type of shadow work stuff within you. It could trigger old wounds. It could trigger family roots wounds. It could trigger parts of yourself that you thought were sort of buried, that you thought were done and over with. You thought that you'd already dealt with it and it wasn't a thing for you anymore, and it's bringing it all up again, all those old feelings and emotions. And we have the strength here as well. So we actually have Gemini, Leo, Cancer so far. So yeah, take what resonates. And I don't know. You like, there's something here about surrendering to the situation. So you may not want to, you may not be used to it. Something here about being quite open to receiving. This person could make you feel calm or a sense of acceptance that you haven't for a long time. And so it may be easier for you to kind of relax around them, even if you don't have all of the information that you would have normally otherwise wanted or could have potentially been a stickler for. I feel like this group, you're quite accomplished. You're probably quite good at what it is that you do. You're quite good in the day-to-day. You could have a lot that you have to do. You obviously, I did talk about parental energy coming through as well. We're not going to go any further with that because we're not touching on work. I do feel like there could potentially be a little bit of drama in the work scenario, but that's not really, it just feels like an annoying thing or a painstaking thing that is like, you know, wants to be the main focus of your life. So you could have something to do with your career or a boss that like wants to take up lots of time and attention or redirect your focus, but like really you've actually got something good coming in here, that it's like people would just like you to be paying more attention because they can get the most out of your productivity because you're a gun. But really it's like you actually get to live a balanced work life, if that, like a balanced what is it, like a work-life balance, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, yeah, it could be like a call. If it's not about work, it could be people wanting you to step into more of a masculine energy, that people around you, or it could be like a part of your responsibilities could have the tendency to kind of like zap you out of that feminine and put you straight back in the masculine. And it's like something here that's really beautiful, that you're embracing this feminine energy. And I think that's part of what it is that like brings in and attracts this person. I'm getting something about like it'll do wonders for you. Okay, I feel like we need to do something with the energy. We're just gonna do some couple. There we go. We don't need to do too much. That'll be enough. All right. I wonder if Amazonite would be a good one for you guys to work with. So like those green or aqua turquoisey type of color crystals, if that's something that you do feel drawn to. I already said Prasiolite. I was going to say Christ of Praise, or was it Chrysocolla? Could be a good one as well. Okay, so we have the Judge and the Temple. If someone is trying to judge something really fundamental about the way that you move throughout the world, or your femininity, or some sort of divine purpose or divine led part of your life, it's like you're being asked to like make your own internal judgment and put a stop to whatever this other person's judgment is. It's like to protect whatever this is, this sensual sacred part, from other people's judgment. It's like kind of like, don't let it permeate your walls. Don't let their thoughts and stuff come in and stir up that space for you, because it's like you've done so well with everything that you have. I think that you could have worked really hard to achieve the state of being that you're in, or the place you're operating from, and that there are people here that just don't understand it, and it's really not their job to, but they also don't need to like come in and make judgments about things they don't know about. They just need to be respectful. They just need to be open to it. They just need to understand that that's your thing, it's part of who you are, and if they're going to put judgment on it or throw shade on it, then they're not your person, and it's that simple. Yeah. Okay. What else do we have? I am getting something weird here about some of you may struggle to keep like a certain person out of your home environment, okay? And like the only way that you could get around this is like either they need to move out or you need to move out. So it could be somebody here that's like kind of impeding upon your home environment, and they are the ones that are like wanting you to go into your masculine energy, or it could be a masculine kind of wanting you to hop out of your feminine energy because it's like they're uncomfortable being in it, or they don't understand it, something like that. And that you would know that to be true. That wouldn't be something that you would have to guess. You would just already have confirmation or a knowing, or you already understand that. Okay, and you may have to just be kind of a bit cutthroat, or you just may have to be transparent in your communication, a little bit assertive. So you don't always have to be so cutthroat. Sometimes the energy comes off like that, genuinely. It could just be being boundaried as well, and being like, well, this is what it is, and like, you're not my mother, although some of you, there could be a mother here as well. Part of this for some of you is going to be to like pull back from that relationship a little bit, or to go within, or to spend a bit more time on your own, or to be a little bit introspective into some sort of situation playing out here. I think that you'll be successful in overcoming this situation, and it may just take time, but you may have to like work at it. What is this? Some of you may end up actually, I don't know, it's like maybe no matter how much you work at it, you're going to have to walk away in the end, or it's just never going to be all the things that you think and want it to be, or that it could have been or used to be. And that's like the hard truth of the situation. And it's just like, you may not want to look at it directly, but it's just is what it is. Okay, so it could, I don't know, it could be like a home environment conflicting with some sort of like new romantic situation. Just take what resonates there for this one, because there's like a lot of things being thrown out there. Hopefully this makes sense to you and it didn't jump around too much. Trusting you guys to use your discernment during these readings, and to leave anything that does not resonate, don't let it take away from you. But yeah, I know if this did resonate, definitely subscribe if you haven't, like, comment, all the good stuff, and I'll see you in another one. Take care.